soul. Run lads, shoot lads, give us all a go. Run lads, shoot lads, you can do it, yes. Come on, Newport County, oh, bang it in the net.
Hello everybody, welcome to Taff's Word. The title of this one is going to be 3 in a row, for obvious reasons, but I'm just going to keep some perspective on how things are going right now, because we know that the last 2 wins haven't been with us being the better team. Both of them are 2 favoured teams for relegation that we played in the last 2 games, and we were technically, we were on the balance of play second best, but I'm going to offer some perspective on those victories. And I'm going to offer some perspective on what we can expect going forward. Sort of summarise where we are right now as well. But it's going to be a relatively brief one today. So we played 4 in the league. We've won 3. Fantastic. 9 points out of the first 12. Any county fan would be absolutely delighted with that. And should be right now. You should be sitting absolutely buzzing. 4th place in the league. Absolutely fantastic. Brilliant. First game could have been, we could be sitting on 10 points right now, ifs and buts and all that. I tend to find that things swinging roundabouts in football. And I'm going to sort of summarise these first 4 games. Now, I've already spoken quite in depth about the Accrington, the Doncaster and the Cheltenham games. Now we've won the Morecambe game. Now, resilience is going to be a key word that I'm going to use for this. Cheltenham went 2-0 down, we brought it back to 2-2 and should have gone on to win the game. 1-0 down against Doncaster, a really fancy team, turned it round, won 3-1, blew them away and defended for our lives and did it fantastically well. Accrington opened the scoring on a bit of fortune, fell backwards. Sorry, just had a phone call then. Sorry for the interruption. So yeah, Accrington fell backwards, was second best in the game and quite rightly conceded an equaliser. Came out second half, blew them away. It was quite an even game, or we could say we edged the second half. Morecambe, first 20 minutes we were the better team until, we scored the goal. And I'd say we had the better chances in the first half, except for that one that fell to Edwards. But then second half, they were obviously in the ascendancy. The changes changed things and gave us a bit more of a footing in the game. And technically, you could say that we had the better of the chances in the second half, although they were few and far between. Morecambe, you can see that, as the home team, they've got players who can create chances, and they proved that yesterday. But first thing, one of the key things in League 2, now I always remember someone telling me that as long as in League 2 you've got a goal scorer, you've got a defensive leader, a midfield leader and a goalkeeper. So 4 players to make the spine of a team. You can build a team on a budget around them, but you've got someone who can lead a defence, someone who can lead a midfield and make sure that you can boss that midfield, someone who can score goals and someone who is excellent in goals to make saves, because goalkeepers win you points. Nick Townsend has possibly already won us 6 points this season because of his 2 outstanding performances against Accrington and Morecambe. But the thing is, we've always been guilty of falling short performance-wise against the lesser teams. If anyone's concerned, worried, that their words have been thrown around far, far too easily and too quickly and prematurely so far. And if anyone's concerned about the performance levels, against a better team will come unstuck. Well, we've already played against a better team and we absolutely blew them away. So when we're up against the better teams, it brings better out of our players. When we're up against the lesser teams, I don't know, it just seems to, other teams who are lesser than us seem to find a way of levelling things out and edging it on performance. But we got the quality there. We got the right stuff about us, like it was Aaron Wildig's press that created that goal. Yes, okay, the goalkeeper's fucked up, but it was if Aaron Wildig doesn't press, that goal doesn't happen. CBR missed a couple of chances, but they weren't clear cut. He had to score chances. I think positive things, when Kieran Evans came off the bench, he looked very, very lively. I've got a feeling that he might start the next game because he changed the game when he came on. He helped create a chance that we should have scored and made it 2-0. He then went on a great run. Should have passed it out to Courtney Baker-Richardson, but he'd taken the ball so far, he was entitled to round that chance up himself, I suppose. So that's a very positive thing. But we still got James Miley to be thrown into it. We've still got, I can't remember his name now, the new striker that we got on loan from Huddersfield. He's got to be thrown into the mix. They didn't make the cut, but the boy we got from Preston made it in time. He had his registration in time to play yesterday. Like I say, we were still quite light. Bryn Morris has got some work to do to get his best back. You know, obviously missing out on a lot of the pre-season would have taken its toll. He needs some match minutes in him. He now has started 2 games. He would have put some match minutes into his legs. I'd expect to be better in the next game. Like I say, I mean, if you look at the injury list as well, now that's another thing that people have to realise is our current injury list. And you think Greaves, Spellman, Cargbo, Clark, Whitmore. I mean, you know, that's 5 potential starting players, or at least making the bench players, you know, who could come on and make an impact. Whitmore, so disappointing because he bossed that midfield. Well, between him and Antwi, that midfield got completely bossed against Doncaster, especially in that second half. I mean, there was even promising parts in the first half. I mean, another thing to take from yesterday as well is the fact that Bobby Camworth is in fact human. Didn't have a great game for us, but you know he's going to have more good than bad. That was a game that he didn't have a good game. He's a human being. He's not a machine. You know, he's going to have bad games from time to time. Another thing I always say, good players can have bad games, but bad players can't have good games. So if you're shit at football, you're not going to just turn up and just miraculously play well. But being human means that you can be good at something, but sometimes not be as good as you can be on certain days. I would chalk yesterday off to being, and possibly Accrington, a couple of bad games, but we still got the win because we got the quality in the team, we got the talent to do it. So the way I would see it now, right, and again, you know, we're in a new era. It's completely new territory with the type of football that we're trying to play. I mean, we did do the playing from the back well in the Morecambe game, but for some reason we reverted to banging it to CBR, and he's going to lose more battles than he wins because he's not tall enough. He's tall and strong, but when you're up against 2 defenders on your own, when you're a one-man strike force, you're going to lose more battles than you win against 2 central defenders. It's as simple as that. So, you know, I don't know if there's something else that they can work on as an area to put the ball if they're not going to play it from the back, but the one thing as well you can really take from it is that the manager knows exactly what he's doing and is already looking like a good appointment, because what he does seems to change things. Well, you know, mid-match. Now, the one thing we could say Coughlin could sometimes be pretty poor at was his game management and his substitutions and tactical changes mid-game. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't. With Jardim, you know, what he seems to implement mid-game tends to work. And, you know, it's testament, you know, like, say, the Cheltenham game. He changed something and we took it from 2-0 to 2-2. He changed something for second half and we took control of the game. And only when we went down to 10 men because of the injury, and then down to 9 men because of the, you know, the running injury that we had to Glennon that they ended up scoring from, is the only reason why we lost that game. So I think there's a lot of positive to take, but it's still early days, is what I'm saying. Like I said, the last one was about the bar of expectation. Don't lift that too quickly and too prematurely, because if we do that, there are going to be times where we're going to lose games. There are going to be games where we'll play and we'll be disappointing. But if the higher you raise that bar, the more disappointing it'll be when we come under that bar. You understand what I mean? So, yeah. So 3 in a row. That's what we're saying. 3 in a row. 3 wins in 3. Riding the waves at the moment, very, very pleasingly. We got Cheltenham again on Tuesday. I'll be going. And then we got Port Vale at home on Saturday who have had a difficult start of the season, but will be one of those good teams, because they will come better, Port Vale. They'll be one of those good teams that we can stand out against, and the two players that couldn't get registered in time will, unless they get injured, be available for the next game. So I'm really looking forward to that one. So hopefully you guys are too, and I'll see plenty of you there. Thanks for watching, and as always, up the county.